NXT's Great American Bash happened yesterday, and was it any good? Can NXT continue their good form of PLEs in 2025? Well, let's find that out right now with our Aussie Cousins Wrestling review of Great American Bash 2025. So first off, we have Jasper taking on Javon Evans in the classic big man versus high flyer match, and let me tell you, this was one hell of a great carry job by the young OG. Jasper came out like a freight train, zeroing in on Javon's ribs with every attack that he made. Every move from Choi felt like it could end the match considering the size difference and basically the way that Javon sells. Javon absorbed a lot of punishment early on before picking his spots and soaring with those trademark dives that pretty much defy gravity and logic. And then in the blink of an eye, Javon snatched a flash roll up, sat down deep and stole the win right out from under Troy. It wasn't just his speed, it was his ring IQ from the 21-year-old that got the job done. But here's the question coming out of this match for me. What's actually going on with Jasper Troy? So he won LFG and was basically passed on to NXT, and he's already lost two really big matches in a row. Obviously he is exceptionally green, and I'm not entirely sure whether Shawn Michaels and the creative team see too much in him at this point in time. They're giving him big matches, but then giving him big losses as well. But I do love the way Javon Evans wrestles. He just shows that you don't have to be old to have experience. At 21 years of age, he actually has a lot of experience, and he really does show that every time he is in the ring. So with this one, I picked Jasper Troy for this win because I thought they were going to give him a big win on a big stage to really propel him into the main event scene, but instead they actually did that with Javon Evans, and that's who Mikey Spence picked on this channel, so he gets the point for this one. Ruca versus Izzy came up next, and this is for the Women's North American Championship, and it had a bit of a similar energy in that it was the power game versus the finesse game of Ruca for this one. And of course, she can't quite match the strength game of Izzy, but she can certainly pick when to lay it in. Ruca is looking like she's having a lot more intent in her strikes every single match she has. Ruca is definitely evolving fast, and that looks like good signs for her going into Evolution, where I hope her and Zarya put on a fantastic performance. Izzy, to her credit though, brought the heat as well, and she hit a Bron Breakker style gutbuster, which was a really nice nod to her real life partner and a really good highlight. But things got wild when Sol nearly landed a moonsault to the outside, except Izzy was a bit out of position and took a clean boot straight to the head. And then came the ending, which was very similar to how I called it, in that Tatum Paxley tries to ruin the party for Ruca, but Zarya wipes her out with a massive spear. And with all this confusion going on, Izzy turns around into the waiting arms of a crushing Soul Snatcher, and 1, 2, 3, no one has kicked out of that move just yet. We both picked Ruca to get the win in this one, and so we both get a point for that. And of course, I get an extra point for almost nailing the finish of this, in that Zarya would take out Tatum Paxley, who tried to help Izzy to get the win. So I get 2 points for this match, Mikey gets 1. We're up to 2 points each so far in this event. The men's North American title match was up next, and that is Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints, and these two absolutely tore the house down. So this was a falls count anywhere, and right from the start, Ricky Saints hit him with a massive spear and then took it to the outside before they started brawling through the crowd. And not just brawling through the crowd, they actually went through to the concourse, where Saints nearly got egos edged into a concrete pillar. He then flipped the script and slammed Paige into the pillar and then through a concession stand table. And then came more chair carnage, with Paige hitting a back body drop through 2 chair backs, a suplex into the barricade, but still wasn't enough for Ricky Saints to go down. And when Ricky Saints finally got back on top, he powerbombed Ethan Page through 4 chairs. And finally they went up to the stage, where Ethan Page countered Ricky Saints, picked him up for the Ego's Edge, and absolutely launched him through the 2 tables down to the ringside area down below. He was in the air for such a long time, and of course 1, 2, 3, that was obviously going to be the finish. Ethan Page gets the win. But there's a bit of a twist to this, in that I think this might be Ricky Saints' actual swan song in NXT. I think he might be going up to the main roster, and of course we saw later on in the night that Seth Rollins got injured, so I think they're going to need a couple of big people to come up to the roster. Ricky Saints is definitely someone who can go straight up there and be a star already. Both of us had Ethan Page to win this one, so we both get another point in our Wrestling Predictions League. The TNA Contract Signing came next, and I found it really interesting that all of Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, and Trick Williams told the crowd that they should be subscribing to Aussie Cousins Wrestling and liking this video if they haven't already done so. So I think that's a great idea that you guys should do that as well. But this went exactly how you would expect. There's a lot of jaw-jacking between the three of them before Mike Santana and Joe Hendry powerbombed Trick Williams straight through a table. Femi and Yoshiki Inamura up next for the men's NXT Championship, and this was always going to be a big hoss fight, and once it got going, it really damn well delivered. Yoshiki refused to stay down in the early parts of this match, even eating some of Oba's heaviest offense. He went back to his sumo roots at one stage and pounced Oba clean off his feet, and followed it up with a diving shoulder tackle to the outside and a spinning power slam on the 310-pound champ like it was nothing. Oba struck back with a crushing dominator, and from there it was a war of massive moves. Yoshiki even hit a huge German suplex, but it wasn't enough to keep Femi down. And then to me it went a little bit sideways because they kind of went into a John Cena match after that, with the ref getting squashed in the corner. Josh Briggs gets up on the ring apron and he clocks Femi with the title, and Yoshiki hits that massive splash after a bit of hesitation on his behalf, and he gets the visual pinfall. And then shortly after that, Briggs tries to hand him a chain, but the referee is right there, so the referee can see the chain in his hand, so Briggs kind of has to put that back. And after Femi survived another near fall on a powerbomb, he managed to get back on top with a bit more Briggs interference and hit the fall from grace for the win. Look, this was a really good match, there is no doubt about that, but for me, the Josh Briggs element did not work at all. I really didn't like it. I almost feel like he missed a spot somewhere, especially with the chain right in front of the referee. Like he was supposed to hit Femi again with that. I don't know what was going on there, but that just really took away from this match for me. Well, look, both of us tipped Femi to get the win. We don't think Yoshiki Inamura was ever going to beat Femi in this one, but they had a couple of really good near falls. Femi's got fantastic timing on his kickouts now, and he does make it look like he is in a bit of jeopardy when he gets one of these big guys in the ring with him as well. Both of us tipped Femi, so we both get a point in this match. And it's main event time, and that is Fatal Influence, of course, Fallon Henley and the women's NXT champion Jacy Jayne up against Jordynne Grace and the debuting Glamour Blake Monroe. And look, for me, the two long-tenured NXT stars in Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne had a really good night here, and both of them show that they can hang with two of the best new superstars that have come in from different promotions in Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe. Jordynne Grace and Fallon Henley started things off before Jacy tagged herself in, and the crowd wanted, and finally got, the arrival of Blake Monroe. Jordynne and Blake then had a couple of nice double team moves, with Grace showcasing that ridiculous power that she has. Jasmine Nix tried to get herself involved, but it was Masha Slamovich, the TNA Knockout Champion, who took her out of the match. There was a fantastic spot on the ramp where Jordynne Grace knocked Fallon back, then skinned the cat to get back in the ring before getting destroyed with a spear from the outside into the ring by Fallon Henley. This led to everyone hitting big moves, with Jacy going for a pin, Blake kicks out with Jacy going straight into a back fist from Jordynne Grace, Blake Monroe hits the double arm DDT, and it's the Glamour on her NXT debut, pinning the NXT Women's Champion. A fun match with four competitors who are all producing some fantastic work this year. And look, even without the likes of Roxanne Perez, Julia and Stephanie Vaquer no longer being in NXT, I think this really shows that the women's division in NXT is still thriving. They've got people like Jacy Jayne and Fallon Henley who have been there for a while. They've got plenty of newcomers coming up, like Ruca and Izzy Dane both had good nights here as well. And then you still got people like Jordynne Grace in there. Whether or not she's going to go up to the main roster soon, we don't know just yet. And Blake Monroe coming in there just really adds a bit more star power to that division. So for the night, Mikey Spence got every single tip right. He got 5 from 5, whereas I got 4 from 5 as I tipped Jasper Troy and not Javon Evans in that opening match. But I did get an extra point for almost getting the finish to the Ruca and Izzy Dane match correct. So we both got 5 points in this match, taking us both to 57 points overall for the year. This Wrestling Predictions League is going down to the wire for the rest of the year. We really hope that at some point soon, once we grow this channel big enough, we can invite so many more people into this league because it is so much fun. So let us know what you thought of Great American Bash 2025 down in those comments below. And please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel and do all of those wonderful things that help this channel grow for absolutely free, so you can continue watching some fantastic Aussie Cousins Wrestling videos.